Gasaway here. A quick reminder that the SA Matters show episodes are now available on video, in addition to audio. Many of the guests of the show have video and audio clips that they share with me about their near-miss events, and it's really hard to do that in the audio-only format of a podcast. So all the episodes are now available as audio podcasts and video shows. You can listen to the audio-only episodes by subscribing to the SA Matters Radio on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher Radio. Or you can subscribe to the SA Matters TV show on YouTube, whichever you prefer. Before I kick off this episode, I want to take a moment to talk about the Supervisor Development Institute program that I created back in 2009. Some of you know my second passion after situational awareness is developing the leadership skills of supervisors, something I did a terrible job of when I was a boss. I was guilty of promoting supervisors before they were prepared to lead others, and that was my fault. And then I got frustrated when they didn't know how to do a good job leading their teams. That was my fault too. So I created the Supervisor Development Institute. This program can be customized to run anywhere from 2 days to 5 days. And no matter the length, there is no PowerPoint. You heard that right, no PowerPoint. Can you imagine a week-long class that doesn't use any PowerPoint? Is that even possible? Not only is it possible, but it's a better way to learn the skills of good leadership. When adults are engaged in the process of learning and not just being lectured to, learning can be fun. And the important part is the lessons stick. We share practical, actionable best practices for leadership, problem solving, conflict resolution, teamwork, communications, motivation, accountability, generational leadership, discipline, coaching for performance improvement, and more. So when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of leaders or supervisors that just don't know how to do their job, right? Contact me, and I'll teach you a better way of leadership and committed followership. What I tell senior leadership teams all the time is the goal of the program is to keep the personnel problems out of their offices by teaching frontline supervisors how to prevent and solve problems at their level. If you're interested, go to the SA Matters website, click on the Contact Us tab. Okay, that's enough of the pre-show stuff. Roll that show intro. Sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
Simon from the Indianapolis Fire Department, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Oh, it's safe to dance. It's safe to dance.
Episode 207 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple: to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I've been sharing the message of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making in live program events for 13 years now, and have trained just over 64,000 students, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, aviation workers, oil refinery workers, operators, and more. This message truly is for anyone who works in a high-risk environment. I'm dedicated to improving your safety and your survival, and I'm here to offer you a message of hope and a message of inspiration, and to help you accomplish the most important goal of all. and that's to go home to the ones who love you. And speaking of sharing the message, today I'm coming to you from my office here in St. Paul, Minnesota. It's kind of a strange thing. I'm usually recording the podcast while I'm on the road, but I'm home this week. Happy to be celebrating my oldest son's birthday. For those of you who know me well, my son Cameron is a firefighter in Madison, Wisconsin. He turns 26 this week. And along with their visit, I get to spend some quality time with my first grandson, Harlan, who was born the week of Thanksgiving last year. I'm just back from spending a week in Fort McMurray, Alberta, where I was delivering situational awareness programs for the oil refinery operators at Syncrude, Canada. The refinery there is huge, and the company has made a big commitment to training 600 plus operators on situational awareness. Thank you, Syncrude and ExxonMobil, for your commitment to improving worker safety. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers of my blog and listeners and viewers of this show are, when are you coming to my area? Or where are you going to be next? Great questions, and I've made the answer really easy to find out. I've created a link on the home page of my website to help you to know when the upcoming events are going to be. Just go to samatters.com and click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Live Training Dates. Today's episode, we're going to examine how competing goals can impact situational awareness. Now, when I'm done with the featured episode, stick around. I'll tell you where there's upcoming situational awareness tour stops that you might want to attend. Okay, let's jump into our feature segment on how competing goals can impact situational awareness. Because individuals and teams frequently operate in environments where there are multiple auditory inputs, like radio traffic, face-to-face communications, ambient noise, and more, they are often forced to prioritize what they listen to or don't listen to, and this can cause issues with situational awareness. Listening versus hearing. Before I get too deep into this discussion, I want to distinguish the difference between listening and hearing. Think of hearing as a mechanical process of sounds entering your ears. Unless you're wearing earmuffs or earplugs, chances are a sound within hearing distance will enter your ear canal and stimulate the nerves inside of your ears. This is hearing. Listening, in the context of this discussion, relates to comprehending the meaning of what you're hearing. In other words, hearing happens on the outside of the brain, and listening happens on the inside of the brain. Think about it this way. It would be nearly impossible for a person to control which sounds reach their ear canal. Yet people seemingly are able to sort out those sounds inside their brain and pick and choose which sounds they want to listen to. Thus, they are selectively listening. What you choose to listen to. A great deal of scientific research has been dedicated to trying to understand what people choose to listen to. One of the findings, which isn't too surprising, is we listen to what we want to hear, the enjoyable message. And we may tune out what we don't want to hear, the unenjoyable message. For example, if a parent tells a child, clean up your room and you'll get an ice cream cone, it may seem the child only heard that they were getting an ice cream cone, when in fact it would be impossible for the child to block out the sound waves of the same sentence that was entering their ear canal. The entire sentence was heard, but perhaps not the entire sentence was comprehended. You see what I'm saying? Have you ever been in a conversation where you or the other person says, "Do you see what I'm saying?" Or "Do you see what I mean?" And the response from that person may be, "I see what you mean." Indeed, we do see audible messages. This is in part how we comprehend the meaning of audible messages. When someone says ice cream cone, you visualize in your mind what those words mean. This draws an image of an ice cream cone on your mental sketch pad. You may not consciously realize your brain is drawing visual images of audible messages, but it is. There's only one sketch pad for drawing the meaning of audible information. You can imagine how busy this sketch pad can get, especially when you're operating in environments with multiple, often competing, auditory inputs. Under such conditions, the sketch pad can be forced to prioritize what it sketches. Multitasking. If you don't know this already, multitasking, when it comes to the act of paying attention, is biologically impossible. The human brain is incapable of paying conscious attention simultaneously to multiple incoming inputs. You can shift your attention quickly between sensory inputs, giving the illusion of multitasking, but the sketchpad does not draw simultaneous pictures. Thus, attention is given to one auditory input at a time. Hearing is not listening. However, even when you have only one thing to listen to, only one person is talking to you, it is possible to selectively listen to their message as well. If the sender of the message is boring, you may begin to tune them out. If the message is one that you don't want to hear or don't enjoy listening to, you may tune that message out too. If while processing the meaning of a message, your brain begins to wonder, what I call mind drift, your sketchpad may start drawing pictures related to what your mind has drifted to. Some might call that daydreaming. While it is easy to see the ill effects of selective listening, it may be far more difficult to realize you are selectively listening in the moment when it is happening. In order to realize you're selectively listening, you might first, with conscious effort, unlock your attention from what you're listening to and yield the sketchpad to another auditory input. Here's an example. You're at home watching your favorite sporting event on television. The game is at the point of high intensity, and you are attentively listening. You may be oblivious to the fact that your significant other is trying to carry on a conversation with you. You may be half listening to the conversation, meaning you're shifting your attention back and forth between the competing inputs. You may also be completely tuned out to the conversation. Only after you unlock your auditory attention from the sporting event on television and shift your attention to the conversation will you truly understand the meaning of what is being said. However, in order to do this, you must first stop listening to the television. This may be harder than it appears. Selective listening in a high-risk environment is common because we have many competing inputs, not just spoken words, but sounds also compete for control of your attention. Understanding while you're processing the meaning of one input, another input containing critical information may not be comprehended. If this happens, you may not even know something happened or something was said. It's a mistake to assume that simply because something is said that the receiver understands it. Even if the receiver acknowledges the message, saying message received or 10-4, it doesn't mean they understood the meaning of the message. Even if they say, I understand, you don't truly know they've understood unless they repeat the message back to you in their own words. And if they're able to do that, you will achieve the most difficult of all the awarenesses that I speak about, and that is shared awareness. The ability to use words to get two or more people on the same page of understanding at the same time. Okay, I have a favor to ask of you, the listeners and viewers of this show. The primary reason I created this show was to provide a platform for those who've experienced near-miss events to share their stories. The experiences that have been shared with me on this show have been nothing short of amazing and extremely educational. I'd like to get more of those lessons learned, shared with the listeners and viewers of this show, but I need your help to do that. If you've experienced or witnessed a near-miss event and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, please contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us tab at the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near-miss event could save someone's life. That's really powerful. And what a wonderful gift it would be. If you want to share your experiences, contact me. Okay, I want to share some feedback that I received recently in an email. It says, Dear Dr. Chief, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed both of the classes that I attended in Minerva, Ohio and Poland, Ohio. I also wanted to thank you for taking time and effort to make the trip down here. I have been talking to our chief about the possibility of bringing you in for a class during your Christmas tour next year. Thank you again for your training. Even after seeing your classes numerous times, I always gain something from it. Also, another thank you for your kind words to my dad that you shared after the class in Poland. Thank you again, Chief Luke Ricketts, firefighter paramedic, Springfield Township Fire Department in Ohio. Luke mentioned the Christmas tour. Let me just kind of elaborate on that a little bit. For those who don't know, at Christmas time, often we go back to the Pittsburgh area to visit family. So I reach out to the fire departments in Pennsylvania and Ohio and say, if any of you want a program in or around the Christmas time, reach out to me, and I give them a pretty good deal. Gives them a chance to get away from their families for a little bit, and gives me a chance to get away from my family for a little bit, and share usually in an evening class sometime in the days between Christmas and New Year's. If you want to share some feedback with me, I'd love to hear from you. Just go to the SA Matters website and click on the Contact Us tab. As I always do, I want to take a moment to thank the companies and organizations and agencies and departments that have hosted recent Situational Awareness Matters programs. I do this to show my appreciation to those who put forth the effort to organize, advertise, and fund training for their team on this important topic. Recent SA Matters tour stops have included the Texas Fire Chiefs Association, the University of Maryland, Syncrude Canada, the Louisiana Fire Chiefs Association, and the International Association of Fire Chiefs. If you're interested in attending one of the upcoming SA Matters tour stops, you can join me on April 2 and 3 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, April 9 through 13 in Evansville, Indiana, and we'll be doing that company or that supervisory leadership program that I talked about, a full week in Evansville. I think this is like our 6th or 7th time doing that in Evansville. April 17th, Camp Ripley, Minnesota. April 23, Billings, Montana. April 25 to 28, Indianapolis, Indiana. April 30, Sun Valley, Idaho. May 1 through 3, Madison, Georgia. May 5, Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. If you want to see the locations of all the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events, head over to the SA Matters website, click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Live Training Dates. Just remember, the program schedule is always changing, so check back often. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters tour stop program, just go to the SA Matters and click on the Contact Us tab. There are already over 80 programs scheduled for 2018, and I'm also booking programs for 2019. Just a heads up, 2018 filled up much faster than I expected, and I'm running kind of low on dates. So this is causing me to book programs in the 2019 sooner than I expected, which means the 2019 inventory of dates is going to become scarce as well. This is a great problem to have, knowing that situational awareness is a popular topic, but it also creates challenges for the hosts who want to book a program on a specific date. The more flexible your dates are, the more likely we'll be able to accommodate your request. If you think your department or agency might want to host a program, you can consider hosting a companion program. A companion program is a program on an adjoining day to an already existing program. So if you're within a few hours of where I'm going to be doing a program and you want to host a companion program, you can save up to 20% off the program costs. So if you're interested in that, again, the SA Matters website, Contact Us tab. I've got great staff. They'll make the whole process very easy for you. The last time I was delivering programs in southwest Minnesota, I stopped by and visited the sponsor of this podcast show, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire is a fire truck manufacturing company that makes amazing all-poly-bodied fire apparatus, and it's changing the industry. You need to check them out at MidwestFire.com. MidwestFire.com. Anyhow, while I was there, I got a chance to sit down and talk to some of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Let's listen in to the interview. All right, I've heard about the No Dealer Network. I've heard about how to get in contact with Midwest Fire. I've heard about the process of speccing a truck, and that's all good. What happens after the sale?
Currently, after the sale, everything gets turned over to myself as project manager. I will then lead you through the build process. If you call in, have questions on your truck, want to make changes to your truck, want updates on your truck, that will all filter through me then rather than the salesman at that time. We take pride in everything we do here. You've heard that many times. But what we want to focus on is making this the best experience we can for the fire department. It's not always easy to get a hold of your salesman, whether he's traveling or on the road or at shows where I'm in-house full-time. Have 100% control with the project manager as well as manufacturing manager of your truck going through the process.
So somebody calls you and they have a question, or they're saying, can we make this change or whatever. You literally just walk down the hall, out the door, and you're on the manufacturing floor talking with engineering or with the people who are actually building their truck, and you can do kind of real-time problem solving or adjusting on the specification?
Yep. What we do then, if there is changes to the truck, obviously there'd be a change order involved, but the response time is a lot quicker. Most of the departments we work with have a meeting once a month, the volunteer fire departments. So if they call in, have a meeting the next night, we're able to get an answer to them, a response to them right away, so we're not holding up the project while it's in production.
Super. Well, there you have it, folks. That's what differentiates Midwest Fire from their competitors. So check them out at MidwestFire.com. Thank you, Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your amazing staff for your awesome commitment to improving the safety of first responders. I really appreciate your support of my mission. If you're not connected yet with the SA Matters community of learners, you might want to consider getting involved. There are over 50,000 people connected with me through the newsletter, through YouTube, through the Facebook page, Twitter feed, and LinkedIn, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Let's start with the newsletter. It's completely free. The newsletter will come to you via email once a month. It contains featured content from both the SA Matters blog and the SA Matters show. And occasionally, I offer discounts on books and videos exclusively for the newsletter subscribers. The newsletter truly is the best way for us to stay in touch with each other. Now, there are two ways you can subscribe to the newsletter. First, if you have a smartphone, text SA Matters to 22828. That's the letter S as in Sam, the letter A as in Adam, and the word matters. All together as one word, SA Matters, to 22828. Be sure to watch your spell checker because it might try to change SA Matters to something else. If you do it right, you'll get a text message back to enter your email address. Once you do that, you're signed up for the newsletter. Now, I know not everybody has a smartphone with texting capability, or some people just don't like to do that texting thing. In that case, just swing by the SA Matters website and click on that red box on the right side of the homepage that says Free Membership. If you want to get connected with me on Twitter, just follow Rich Gasaway on Twitter. If you want to get connected with me on LinkedIn, you can search for Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. If you want to watch the videos, including this show, you can subscribe to the SA Matters YouTube channel. That's SA Matters TV YouTube channel. SA Matters TV, all one word, on YouTube. If you want to get connected with me on Facebook, you can just like the SA Matters page on Facebook. All right, finally, the SA Matters show and SA Matters TV YouTube channel has enjoyed over 700,000 downloads and views. This show is the longest running, fastest growing, safety focused show on the internet. If you know a company that might want to advertise their product or service on this show, have them contact me through the SA Matters website. Well, that's it. Episode 206 is complete. Thank you to our awesome podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all the companies, agencies, organizations that have hosted SA Matters classroom events. Thank you to all the organizations that have hosted our live, virtual, internet-based training events. Thank you to the more than 1,500 students and graduates of the SA Matters Online Academy. And most importantly, thank you, the audience of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.